And they're off. BG Bullet, Honey's Choice broke out very nicely, but is now taken back as Aaron's moves up to challenge, and on the extreme outside, Work. So it's Work in front over Aaron's. Here's Chapter 1 coming through to take third, and BG Bullet now fourth. Then comes Honey's Choice, who settles on the inside, 6 lengths off the lead. Extreme outside, Dutton's Song has passed a couple of rivals, and they are followed by Postmodern. Ruler of Law is next. Another 3 back to Toby's Honor. Plettenberg Bay is second to last, and the distant trailer is Airliner. Around the far turn, on the outside, Work. Aaron's is a neck back second, a length and a half behind them to Chapter 1, racing a joint third on the inside of BG Bullet. Honey's Choice is in the green and yellow, starting to look for racing room and closing. And on the extreme outside, Toby's Honor is coming from well out of it, as is Postmodern. Postmodern is really closing well as Honey's Choice has spurred it clear. Big, powerful strides for Honey's Choice, who proves much the best. Ruler of Law with good interest second. Postmodern was third, then Chapter 1. And they're off. Texas Wildcat and It's Time dueling from the start, with Original 1 2 lengths back in third, and Maximum Gladiator has fallen well behind, already 15 lengths off the duel on the front end between It's Time and Texas Wildcat. Those two sizzle past the half-mile pole. Original 1 almost 4 lengths back, and 15 more to Maximum Gladiator. They have 3/8 of a mile to go. Texas Wildcat putting serious pressure on It's Time, puts the nose in front. It's been a good trip for Original 1, who's coming after the top pair now with a 3-wide bid. Texas Wildcat narrowly. Original 1 looming up on the outside, and It's Time down at the rail. There's 3/16 of a mile to go. Texas Wildcat and Original 1. Original 1 on the outside is up to take the lead, followed by It's Time in third, 16th pole, and Original 1 starts to edge clear from Texas Wildcat. Original 1 proves best, winning by a length and a half. Texas Wildcat second, turns into a close photo between Maximum Gladiator and It's Time. We're in the gate. And they're off. Darlin' Tammy out quickly. Girl Can't Help It off extremely slowly. Here's Willow Cove coming through on the inside now to lead them over Darlin' Tammy. Aloha Dreamin' kicks through on the inside now to take the lead. Behind them comes Sabella, and Mars Magic is racing in fifth. 4 lengths back to Newport Dreams. Booster Club is next, followed by Skating Through Life. It's a gap of 4 to Cloudy Rose. Pretty Cece on the outside, and Freya down at the rail. And Girl Can't Help It trying to get into the race after that very tardy beginning. Into the far turn, it's Aloha Dreamin' showing the way, 3/4 of a length. Willow Cove keeping pace on the outside, poised in second. 3 more to Darlin' Tammy in third. Then Sabella. Mars Magic is in the 5th spot, trying to move up between horses. Skating Through Life. Newport Dreams is next, a 1/4 of a mile to go. It is a wide open race. Top of the stretch, Darlin' Tammy coming with a wide bid. Down on the inside, Aloha Dreamin', Sabella sneaking through. On the outside, Mars Magic with a stellar rally, and here comes Mars Magic with good momentum. Mars Magic hits the front under Victor Espinoza and puts them away. Mars Magic by 3 widening lengths. Darlin' Tammy second in front of Skating Through Life and Newport Dreams. A 4 bred by Terry Lovinger. They're in the gate. And they're off. Lake Smokin' and Tigger Whitworth are both out quickly. I'm Always Thirsty is in between those two. And here's Straight Buzzin' kicking through in the orange colors faster than all. Chief Resident is now in the fourth spot. Behind them comes Bossy Mo, and Bandolero is far back in the opening stages. It's Straight Buzzin' with sharp debut speed into the far turn. Leads it a length and a half to Tigger Whitworth. Now it's two. Now it's 2.5, 3. Straight Buzzin' is opening up, coming toward the quarter pole. I'm Always Thirsty, Lake Smokin', third and fourth. In behind them, Chief Resident, Bossing Mo is making some headway. They all need to do that as Straight Buzzin' has a 6-length lead coming to the eighth pole. Now, Bossing Mo is starting to gain some momentum in second. Extreme Outside, Lake Smokin', 16th pole, Straight Buzzin' by 4. Lake Smokin', Bossing Mo can only battle for second. Straight Buzzin' and Giovanni Franco cruise to victory. Lake Smokin', Bossing Mo, and Chief Resident. Fourth race named Happy Birthday, Scotty. You have Grace Courage and the Heart of a Champion. They've loaded rapidly. And they're off. Bela began well. So did Helga Brandt in the Blue Silks, and just behind them, Invincible Molly is in third. They're followed by Dare to Fly and Source racing next to one another, two clear of Mizian, who is joined on the extreme outside by Marion Cross, who's passing horses in a hurry all the way up to take third. The two trailers Misleading and Madonna of Laredo, who did not have a smooth start, is at the back of the field. Bela trying to cross over and has done so. Leads it by 3/4 of a length. Marion Cross moves up on the outside to take second. Helga Brandt is keeping pace with the top pair in between, and Helga Brandt now takes a crack at Bela coming to the quarter pole and is able to put her head in front. Marion Cross is 3 deep, and just behind them, Dare to Fly is getting a seam to run. They're coming to the eighth pole. Bela hanging tough inside Helga Brandt. Good momentum from Dare to Fly, who's cut loose on the outside, has to get to Bela. Bela a length and a half. Dare to Fly clearly into second. Bela keeps going. Dare to Fly a final try. Bela game in victory under Juan Hernandez, turning away a big bid from Dare to Fly. Then Helga Brandt and Misleading battling it out for the show dough. Engineer, scratch 5, Silver Ice. They'll be at the gate for the beginning of the late pick 4 in 21 minutes. Yamavar Resort and Casino at San Manuel is your destination for gaming excitement. As the closest casino and resort to Santa Anita Park, you're sure to experience world-class gaming, dining, and entertainment. In the gate. And they're off. Very even beginning. Taif is out very quickly. Running with Chaos has speed. Latitude comes away in third, and the last straw is 4 lengths off the battle up top. And it appears to be a moderate tempo. Running with Chaos, pressed by Taif on the outside, who's now a neck away and has to get a little closer. It's another 2 lengths back to Latitude in third, and the last straw has 5 to make up. Running with Chaos and Edwin Maldonado, as slow as possible, leading 3/4 of a length. Taif on the outside and Latitude on the fence. 2.5 more to the last straw. They're heading to the 3/8 pole, running with Chaos just in front. Taif has been pressing throughout. Down at the rail, Latitude still has some run in there, needs to find a bit of racing room, has to get closer now. And the last straw is starting to pick it up from behind. They passed the quarter pole and turn for home. Running with Chaos has slowed it down as much as he can. He's got to sprint for home now. Out in the center of the track, the last straw. Taif is in between them, coming to the 16th pole. Running with Chaos, a length to Taif, who's trying his best. Running with Chaos, full of run late. And this was a brilliant ride from Edwin Maldonado, as Running with Chaos wins by almost 3. Taif second best. The last straw third. Latitude fourth. Going in. They're in the gate. And they're off. Centro Delantero is going out for the lead. Baldoro on the extreme outside is flashing early foot two. In between them, Time Song and Enter the Dragon is also in that mix. By the stands, and Time Song has now asserted himself as the clear-cut pacemaker. Moonlit Sonata moves into second. Enter the Dragon is down at the rail in third, and Baldoro races fourth. Then it's Theodore George racing a joint fifth as they move into the clubhouse turn. Just inside of him comes Centro Delantoro, a length and a half to One of These Days. Dicey Mochara has more than a dozen to make up, a length and a half clear of Rim Protector. Then comes City Exile, and El Rey is way at the back of the field. Down the back stretch. And the lead belongs to Time Song. Cruising along thus far. 2-length advantage. Moonlit Sonata is a tracking second. It's another 3 back to Baldoro, remaining in third. And Enter the Dragon is down at the rail fourth. Then comes Centro Delantoro and Theodore George, stride for stride. Dicey Mochara, One of These Days is hard ridden down at the rail. Rim Protector outside of that pair, then City Exile and El Rey. They have a quarter of a mile to go now, and Moonlit Sonata has made a move for the lead. On the outside, Baldoro's had a good trip, if good enough. Time Song is down at the rail. In behind them, Centro Delantoro and City Exile is threading through traffic. Fuller run two. Can City Exile get out of there? Past the 16th pole, driving finish. Baldoro on the outside, Centro Delantoro. Here is the line. Centro Delantoro, maybe. Baldoro was right there with him. The old veteran Dicey Mochara came flying late. City Exile was just behind that group. We're in the gate. And they're off. Very awkward start for Autism Puzzle. Mother's Prayer is sprinting for the lead, and Contrary Chieftain wants a piece of the early pace. These two hook up right away going into the first turn, and they're going at a rapid tempo too. Union Wave is 2 lengths off them in third, followed by Smarty Nose on the outside, and Northern Quest is down at the rail. Alpine Thunder has settled smoothly in behind that trio, and another 3 to Autism Puzzle. Onto the backstretch, and Kyle Frey has the heavy favorite Contrary Chieftain in front now, leading by 3/4 of a length under a firm hold. Mother's Prayer keeping him honest in second. Another 2.5 more to Union Wave in third. Down at the rail, Alpine Thunder continues to tug nicely. Makes a nice move on the inside to take that third spot. Smarty Nose is outside of that pair. Down on the inside, Northern Quest, and Autism Puzzle is making an aggressive early bid, passing some horses now. It's Contrary Chieftain who has shaken loose. Frey takes a peek back and now knows he has 3 lengths on Mother's Prayer in second. Alpine Thunder at the rail in third, followed by Smarty Nose and Autism Puzzle. They pass the quarter pole at the top of the stretch, and Contrary Chieftain bounding along widens to lead by 5. Mother's Prayer, Alpine Thunder trying to get into second now, but it's still Contrary Chieftain, and he is home free. Contrary Chieftain overwhelmed the competition, a no doubt about it. 6-length victory. Alpine Thunder up for second. Mother's Prayer third. Northern Quest was fourth. We're in the gate, and they're off. Musical Song in the center of the course is out for the early lead. Global Consort comes up alongside in second. They're followed by Winika just behind them, moving toward the rail, and there's some crowding inside of her. Interplay and Silver Flirt had to take up just ever so slightly as they passed the stands. My Cherry Pie, in the meantime, takes fourth, Ghostess fifth between rivals, and Blame Eve is just outside of her. Interplay is with the yellow sleeves, having a little bit of difficulty the last eighth of a mile, just steadied again, 8 lengths off the pacemaker as they've now rounded the clubhouse turn. Blame Eve is now a couple of lengths behind that group, followed by Silver Flirt. Angelica Bay with the red cap is toward the back of the field. The two trailers, Authentic Grace and Holly, go quickly. Down the back stretch, and it's Musical Song with a 4-length cushion. Global Consort gets a little bit closer in second, as does My Cherry Pie on the outside in third, now just 4 lengths off the lead. In the meantime, Wanika is next. Interplay is in between horses as they get closer to this front runner moving into the far turn. Red cap of Angelica Bay making a bold move now, passing horses one by one. There goes Angelica Bay all the way up to take third as they're midway on the turn. It's Musical Song, Global Consort pursued by Angelica Bay outside of them as the field turns for home. Musical Song trying to cling to that lead, digs in, opens up a length again on Global Consort, trying hard. Then Angelica Bay in third from way out of it. Holly Go Quickly is flying home, but running out of time. It's Musical Song and Adrian Escobedo coast to coast. Angelica Bay in a very close photo with Holly Go Quickly, and in behind them, Global Consort was battling out a minor award along with Silver Flirt.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to a special Holiday Racing Monday card here at the Great Race Place, of course, in honor of the life and legacy of Martin Luther King as we all celebrate his holiday around the country. We've got 9 races on today's card, including a $20,000 Super High Five carryover. And in case you can't tell by the props, it's also the college football championship game tonight. Miami of Florida against the Indiana Hoosiers. So who better than an Indiana alum to be my seminar guest today? His name, Larry Zapp. Larry, happy Monday. Welcome to the seminar.
Glad to be here, Tom. And, you know, Dr. King, I think he would have been an Alabama guy. And Indiana already disposed of Alabama out here in the Rose Bowl.
And they're crimson red.
And I don't feel bad that it's, you know, that we're a month later and look who we are, Tom.
The Hoosiers.
The Hoosiers!
Don't get too excited. You still got to play the game. And speaking about playing the game, Larry, rather than look at today's card when we first start talking, what about the Pegasus World Cup event this coming Saturday, January 24th, at our sister track, Gulfstream Park? It's a 13-race card that begins at 8 a.m. Pacific time. That's right. First race on Pegasus World Cup Day will be 8 a.m. Pacific time. The 13th and final race will be the Pegasus World Cup. Let's take a look at the field. The field is a very deep and contentious field with a number of Southern California shippers. At the top, Disco Time is the 8-5 morning line favorite, but there's some recognizable names on the entries. Number 2, British Isles is from Southern California. Number 3, Full Serrano is from Southern California. Number 6, Madaket Road is from Southern California. White Barrio in post position number 11 is the defending champion. This is going to be a really good race, Larry. Let's talk about the invaders first, starting with number 2, British Isles from the Richie Baltus barn. Kind of a different horse now that they put him on dirt. He's a very well-bred horse as well for the dirt.
He is a very well-bred horse. Bob Baffert originally trained him, and then, you know, Nick Casado.
He's a sharp guy.
He's a sharp guy. Not only is he sharp enough to buy this horse, but he was sharp enough to convince Richie Baltus to run him on dirt because his old dirt form was not any good. But they proved last time that he could hold his own on dirt, and he almost won a graded stake. And I think he's got a long shot. Look, Diego, who rides, who's represented by Nick's son Ryan, another young Sharpie. They're going as a team, and I'm going to be rooting for them.
I am too at 20-1. Another interesting long shot drawn right outside of British Isles is Full Serrano from the John Sadler barn, 12-1 on the morning line. I like the confidence that the Sadler team, including Mr. and Mrs. Ronas, are showing by shipping back east. They must like the way the way that Full Serrano is training in the mornings.
Yeah, we saw him win the Breeders' Cup Mile at Del Mar a couple of winters or falls ago, and you know he had a limited career season last year, but what you're saying is true. If they're shipping 3,000 miles and Sadler going to Rosario means that's his go-to boy, they've got to be live in there.
And Madaket Road, speaking of go-to boys, if we can put the graphic up, Mike Smith now riding for Bob Baffert, 10-1 on the morning line. Madaket Road, in my opinion, is going to be overlooked, but certainly he's in with a big shot as well.
He's got a lot of speed, and you know I think the 3 California horses make some sense in here. Otherwise, we've got a very wide open race. Disco Time's 8-5 and undefeated. Kind of missed all the real big dances as a 3-year-old, but now we're going to find out if he's maybe the horse to beat for possible horse of the year later in the year if you wanted to get down on a future book. And Brad Cox being a loaded barn, he's got Tappan Street, who, if we remember, Tom, he beat who's going to be this past year's horse of the year. Way back,
Sovereignty.
He beat Sovereignty, and then he disappeared. He came back with a professional enough win, but Brad Cox is absolutely loaded in this race. And then we've got White Barrio, and which one's going to show up? He's got Irad Ortiz, and he's that guy, Safi Joseph. So it's a good race.
It's a really good race. $3 million, the Pegasus World Cup has the nightcap next Saturday, January 24th at our sister track, Gulfstream Park. Of course, a number of other supporting races on the undercard as well with full fields and big prices. Larry, on today's card, as I mentioned, we've got a $20,000 Super High Five carryover in race number 9. And let's talk about maybe some of the performances on Cal Cup Day. And let's start first with Grand Slam Smile, who certainly is a hard-knocking mare. She won the nightcap, the Filly and Mare Sprint Turf coming down the Hillside Turf Course, presented by John Deere, Sean McCarthy, William Anton Georgie. She broke from the gate, took them all the way, and really it was never in doubt.
Well, we had a Prancing Through Paris.
Finished a good third.
Good third, but we might have been second best. And walking out with J.J. Hernandez, I said, well, you know, we've lost to her 6 times out of 6. And he knew about it, but he had to go for it when they crossed the dirt, and maybe trying to chase her cost us maybe second, but we ran a good third. we were happy. But Grand Slam Smile, there will be a race someday named after her. She's that good, Tom.
She's never finished out of the money. I believe in 18 career starts. She's closing in on close to $1 million worth of earnings. So she's one of a number of talented Cal-breds. When I had Frank Miramati, our track announcer, on the seminar that particular morning for Cal Cup, we rattled through some of the all-time greats that were Cal-breds. Tiz Now, Free House, Best Pal. I mean, the list is endless. The Cal-bred program continues to produce horses that can compete not only in California, but nationwide.
Maybe the best horse, according to my buddy Charlie Stutz, who's 84 and still going strong, was a Cal-bred. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Fire away.
He had more track records than any horse I know of. His name was Swaps.
Sure.
And he, after the Derby, they didn't go and try to win the rest of the Triple Crown, and he had a pretty incredible career. Loved Hollywood Park. But I'll tell you what, Cal-breds hold their own. New York breds hold their own. We're living in a world where everybody knows Secretariat, and they think he was a Kentucky bred. He wasn't.
Maryland?
He was Virginia bred.
Virginia bred.
But Cal-breds hold their own. And Dan Blacker, a breakout day for a young trainer, winning 2 big races. And how did we knew going in, John Harris and his Silks had to be represented, and represented they were. And guy was good to our game. He left everything, loved the game, and of course he got a nice win. His Silks got a nice win, and it represented him and everything he did for California racing.
And the name of the horse escapes me, unfortunately, but the winner of the Cal Cup Derby, who in a lifetime start number 2, actually was very impressive, winning, storming down the lane and putting up a big mutual, which
absolutely. And you know, it was technically his first start.
Correct, because he was declared a non-starter.
I can't think of his name either, but when we come back from from Miramati, we'll have it.
It's live TV. Sometimes we get stumped, even though we have encyclopedias as memories for horse racing. And of course, we love this sport, as we know you do too. We're delighted you decided to join us on this holiday Monday card of racing here at the Great Race Place. We're going to take a quick break, toss the microphone over to track announcer Frank Miramati, get the early changes on today's card, which are minimal. When we resume, we'll find out not only who Larry likes on today's card, but of course, who he likes in the college football championship game later tonight.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park, the Great Race Place. The track is fast, turf firm, rail on the turf, out 20 feet. Here are the changes. No scratches or jock changes in the first, start of the early pick 5. Race 2 starts the early pick 4. No changes. In the third race, no scratches or jockey changes. The fourth starts the $2 pick 6. No changes. In the fifth, late pick 5 and all turf pick 3 wagering offered. Couple of blinker notes. Race 6 starts the late pick 4. Number 4, Danzing Zella, 3 pounds over. The 7th is the Astra Stakes. Scratch number 6, Hey Jesse. Race 8 kicks off the $5 late double. Number 8, Howbeit, 3 pounds over. And in the 9th race, we have a super high 5 carryover of $20,991.83. Scratch number 3, Marco's Performance. There won't be another carryover after today. 59 minutes to post for the opener. Let's go back to Quigley's Corner. His special guest is the very talented Larry Zapp.
Welcome back. We're talking horses with equine scout Larry Zapp. It's our pleasure to have him as our seminar guest today on a good 9-race card here. Holiday Monday racing at the Great Race Place. Pools are certainly to be big considering we're one of the few simulcast signals available anywhere around the country. Larry, when players are watching the seminar either on their phone or their computer, I feel like they're kind of watching Wheel of Fortune because sometimes they know the answers before either you or I do. And that was the case with the Cal Cup Derby winner. But while Mr. Miramati was giving us the changes, you had the luxury of looking on your computer and finding out the name of the Harris Farms winner of the Cal Cup Derby. Who was it?
Yeah, by a promising, still fairly young Kentucky sire standing at Airdrie Stud, the old Governor Jones farm, now run beautifully by his son Brett. Start Your Ride by Upstart, out of a Tisnell mare, by the way.
Speaking of Tisnell,
Yes,
you were a
sir.
big fan of Tisnell's
Love
back in the day.
Tisnell.
And he's a good broodmare sire as well.
He's an excellent broodmare sire. Him, Blame, a few of those horses that probably did better as broodmare sires because I think their size didn't always fit with the mare. But when you go down a generation or two, that's when those kind of horses really show up.
You mentioned Blame, and of course, he was the winner over Zenyatta in the Breeders' Cup Classic at Churchill Downs, the late, great Garrett Gomez in the saddle. That was a tough one for me to accept because I really believe in my heart of hearts Zenyatta was best that day. She got off slow. The temperatures were close to freezing. She was in a different environment, but she ran her heart out.
She might have also been confused. And what I mean by that is John Sheriff shared her with everybody and literally let people come after training and take photos with her for
many times. Hollywood Park,
many times
yards.
at Hollywood Park. The lights were on at Churchill that night. I think she was staring and thought they were taking photos of her. And if you watch her down the first side, she's actually like almost sitting down, like posing. And when Mike Smith and her got rolling, they rolled. I mean, she put 4 lengths on looking at Lucky from the quarter pole home, but Blame just got the perfect trip.
Down on the inside.
And he showed up on the right day, and Garrett Gomez got the job
sure
done. And it's amazing that Blame beats Zenyatta and Upset beats Man of War.
Crazy game that we have here, that's for sure, right?
Can't make that up.
All right, Larry, let's kind of take a look at the entire card, kicking things off in race number 1, which, of course, begins the popular 50-cent early pick 5. As you can imagine, we are fast and firm here in Southern California, not a cloud in the sky. We're on the turf course in race 1 where the rails are at 20 feet, 1 mile is the distance. Maiden special weight Cal-bred, 3-year-old fillies. We've got a field of 5. The current morning, the morning line favorite and the current betting choice at even money is number 3, Coyote Cafe from the Mark Glatt barn. You like the favorite here, Larry, or you're looking elsewhere?
I mean, if you're going to play the pick 5, I wouldn't leave the favorite out, but you give us 2 slots, and I'm always looking for the value, and I had to go with the number 1 horse of Patty Gallagher's Humidity for Eclipse Thoroughbred Partners. This horse ran deceptively well first time out. If you watch the tape, it was off slow. It kind of got crowded and never really found its best trip, and I think Patty likes to give him one. And last time, the horse broke with some intent, and actually Kimura tried to reel the horse back, and he got a little rank. And I think there's not much pace in here. I think the 5's going to the lead of Ryan Hansen's. I think this horse might surprise everybody and be sitting a really good trip behind that lone front runner. So I'm going the 1 Humidity to get a little value. And I was between the 4 and the 3, Training Good and Coyote Cafe for that second slot. I mean, they ran about the same race last time. Armando Ayuso, who's one of my favorite young riders in the game, I talked to him this morning. I said, what do you think about Training Good? He goes, I'll be a lot closer. He thinks he's going to get a good trip. So maybe running into people either works for you or against you, Tom. But I went 1-4 here to start things off.
Let's take a look at race number 2. Begins the 50-cent early pick 4. This time we're sprinting 6 furlongs in the main track. It's a starter optional claiming race, a field of 5. Number 5, Comedy Town from the Red Hot George Papadromo barn is the 7-5 morning line favorite. Hector Barrios in the saddle. 5 ways you can go here, Larry. Which way you going and why?
Well, the draw made the difference to me. I don't like 7-5 morning lines, but Comedy Town comes out of a very strong race. I mean, see through it, Red Flag. Those are real race horses. They're fast horses, almost as fast as any ones we have on the grounds. I think the draw for Georgie, and what a last couple of months George Papadromo has had. I mean, he's been just hitting it on every cylinder. He rides a lot of different riders, keeps Hector Barrios on after claiming the horse 2 back, and give Giddy Up LLC some credit for making astute, sharp claims. Alex Solomon kind of makes a lot of their decisions for them. And I'm telling you, that's an outfit that tries to win races. And I just think it's the right horse in the right spot. likes the distance a lot. So that was my top pick. Had a real hard time finding a second horse. But the Jeff Mullins horse, the 3-horse 406 Creed, those 2 wins in a row back in September and October over this track at 6 furlongs and coming back to a distance where this horse is first or second, 4 to 5 starts, just gives him the edge for me to pick second. I went 5-3 in race number 2.
Good luck to Alex Solomon and Giddy Up JR LLC, a very prominent owner these days and certainly a regular viewer of this seminar. Race number 3, $50,000 maiden claimers are sprinting 6 furlongs on the turf course. We've got a field of 6. Take note, number 6, Irish Rebel off the long layoff is a first-time gelding. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Larry, we wanted to watch a workout for Irish Rebel. This workout was right here at San Diego over the training track way back on November 22nd. If we can cue up that video, here we go. That is Irish Rebel the gray in the back, trailing the other workmate. You're going to see Irish Rebel make a really good late charge here. Why'd you want to show this workout?
Well, I'm part of the team that bought the horse, and he's a beautiful gray horse by one of my favorite sires, Liam's Map. And I won't lie about this. He has 1 start, and it's been hard getting him back to the races. We're not here to waste many races on this guy. He's had a couple enough issues just to wait on him and get him to the races. And he's got some fast works that aren't currently showing on the form. We had to get through the whole inspection process of not running in a year. And look at him right here. He's listening to his rider, and he's not trying to blow by the other horse. I just think he's comfortable on the synthetic. I've always believed he was going to be a grass horse. And this just shows you he's very handy. And if he breaks running, Tom, he's going to be on the lead today, and beware of him about the quarter pole if he's scooting for home in front. He's my top selection. Great price, 8-1. Escobedo won the last race yesterday, lulled him to sleep.
On the front end.
On the front end. He's known as the front end guy, and I'm hoping he's on the front end. Another great draw. In these sprint races, a nice outside draw and not a big field is the perfect place to be. After that, the 5 is going to take a lot of money video review, but I thought there might be a little chasing after Irish Rebel if I'm right about the way this race shape's going to be. And it just looks to me like the 2 Arctic Power is the horse that'll cut him back to a sprint from a couple mile races. Will hopefully be the one running, and we know Rispoli can finish. I picked the race 6-2.
Race 3 is interesting. It's a relatively small field, but as you take a look through the past performances, a lot of these are returning either off mini layoffs or long layoffs and first-time starters as well. So this is an interesting race, certainly for early pick 5 purposes. Race number 4 begins the $2 pick 6. We kick things off in the $2 pick 6 in race 4, traveling 1 mile on the main track. $25,000 claimers. We've got a field of 5. Morning line favorite number 2. Hard to figure, 9-5 on the morning line from the Ron Ellis barn. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Larry, we want to watch a replay for Leia's Candy. This replay was from his effort 2 starts back on October 19th. He breaks from the reel, sets a pretty fast pace, and hangs tough. Well clear of the 3rd place horse. He improved off that performance to come back and win at Los Alamitos back on December 5th. Now he tries San Diego once again. But let's listen to track announcer Frank Miramati describe the action back on October 19th and watch Leia's Candy breaking from post position number 1.
And they're off. It's a quick start for Leia's Candy alongside Sea Dog, those 2 vying for command. Joined now by Panuco, and Low Expectations makes it 4 across the track. And that leaves Doo Wop Don at the back on the rail. Around the first turn, and it's Leia's Candy heading to the 6 furlong pole with a clear-cut advantage over Sea Dog in second. Then comes Panuco, in between rivals third. Low Expectations and Doo Wop Don at the rail. 4 lengths covers the entire group. They're on to the backstretch, and it's Edwin Maldonado and Leia's Candy at the 5/8 pole, loose on the front end. It's a 3.5 length edge. Doo Wop Don has gone from last into second, and the favorite is chasing now in a clear-cut position. Sea Dog under pressure at the rail. Low Expectations, Panuco between those 2. 3.5 furlongs to go. Leia's Candy has been the controlling speed. Still in front by 2 over Doo Wop Don second. Now it's 4 to Low Expectations taking third. At the rail, Sea Dog is racing in fourth, and in between those 2, Panuco. Leia's Candy, Doo-Wop Dawn, gradually getting closer with each and every stride. These two are absolutely dominating at the top of the stretch. Doo-Wop Dawn within a half length of a tough Leia's Candy. These two past the 8th pole together. It's Leia's Candy and Doo-Wop Dawn. Doo-Wop Dawn on the outside. Leia's Candy, Doo-Wop Dawn, and Diego Herrera on the outside trying to get by Leia's Candy. Doo-Wop Dawn.
Larry, Leia's Canyon set the pace, 22-3, 46-1, 110-4, and that's the whole point. Look at this gallop out here. He wants more, and of course, 2-1 next time out at Los Alamitos. In retrospect, looks like a gift. Now the connections raise him up in class even more. He draws the rail with Maldonado. I have a feeling this is your top pick in race number 4.
It is my top pick. I like sharp horses. This horse was running as cheap as $8,000 back in August. He's going up the ladder. Maldonado rode him this day, and he's riding him today, and he'll get him out on the lead. And the question's going to be, and I tried to get a USO to commit to me this morning, what are you going to do with Hard to Figure when your boy Edwin takes the lead? And he was kind of just looked at me and like he looked confident. I'm hoping they don't battle. Here's the race shape's simple. If the 1 and 2 don't battle, I think they're the race, and I'm picking it 1-2. If they do battle, there's a couple other horses in this race, especially the 5-horse Gazely. They probably would help pick up the pieces if he ran his race 3 back. But I'm hoping these two don't go at it and they run around the track 1-2. And I want to shout out Margie in your Eddie Logan room because she's a sharper handicapper than people give her credit for.
She's the server in Eddie Logan.
Yes.
And she does a great job,
She
obviously.
does
And she follows the horses peripherally, let's say.
She kind of tipped me off to make sure I don't leave this horse out. And then I watched its races last night, and it made me feel that this horse is going up the ladder the right way. And I love the 6-1 morning line. So 1-2 for me and race number 4, Tom.
Margie has inside connections, that's for sure. Race number 5 begins both the 50-cent late pick 5 as well as the $3 all turf pick 3, which has a reduced 15% takeout. And we kick off both wagers in race 5, sprinting 6.5 furlongs on the flat turf course. This is a starter allowance race for fillies and mares. We've got a field of 6. Number 2, Prime and Ready, once again from the Richie Baltus barn, is the 9-5 morning line favorite. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Larry, we want to show a replay for the runner on the bottom who is taking blinkers off, and that would be number 6, Princess Midnight. This replay was back at Santa Anita on October 17th. She's going to break from post position number 4 in this replay. I want you to notice the tardy start and then what she does after that tardy start. So let's listen to Frank Miramati describe the action back on October 17th for Princess Midnight and watch her break from post position number 4.
And they're off. Prime and Ready had a perfect start right to the front, joined at the rail by Lady Aberdeen. How Lovely is in between them and under a little bit of a hold too. They are followed by Ovita's Hobby in 4th, 3 lengths off the lead. How About Pavel is next, and the trailer is Princess Midnight. Down the back stretch, and it's Lady Aberdeen showing the way to the half-mile pole, tracked by How Lovely in 2nd. Just behind them, Ovita's Hobby pushed along for more in 3rd. Then Prime and Ready settling in 4th, still only 3 lengths off the lead, though. How About Pavel is just inside of her, and Princess Midnight continues at the back. Lady Aberdeen takes him to the quarter pole, leading by half a length, pressed by How Lovely in 2nd. Prime and Ready inching right back into contention, 3 deep in 3rd. Ovita's Hobby is 4th with 3 to make up. From the back of the field, Princess Midnight angles out there at the top of the stretch. The lead belongs to Lady Aberdeen alongside How Lovely. Ovita's Hobby trying to get through, and out in the center, here's Prime and Ready. And Prime and Ready is coming after them now, but How Lovely is in front. And now Ovita's Hobby comes through. Ovita's Hobby was worked upon the whole way, and she was best.
Larry, Ovita's Hobby took the inside trip, and there's our friend Princess Midnight on the inside. She ran great considering the start. Joe Herrick does a very good job. He's very underrated with a limited stable, but Princess Midnight today, 5-1 on the morning line. You look through the PPs. She's won before over this turf course at odds of 9-1 and 47-1 previously. Again, having shown the replay, we can see you like her best in race 5.
Joe Herrick does a great job, and he's a great human being, helping those horses at San Luis Rey back when during the fires.
He got injured himself.
Yes, he did, and he put himself out there to help our 4-legged friends. And I mean, 6 to 6.5. It's a little fresh thing. I'll trust Joe in having his horse fit. Another one with a beautiful outside draw. She beat 2 horses that are also out of that same race that come back today. I made her my top pick. Blinkers go off, which is interesting to me. I'm sure Joe's just been, as the horseman, been working with her, trying to figure out how to maybe get her to break. And she's not going to show speed, but maybe get a better position early. And so I'll trust him. And Diego Herrera is riding very well right now. I went with the 5 Needle Point right inside of her. This is a horse who came into this country for Eclipse Thoroughbreds, and they buy horses. They're usually meant to be allowance stake horses, and they came into this country, went immediately to 2 turns twice, and they ran into really good horses like Prancing Through Paris. They tried sprinting the horse, and it just ran evenly way back in May, but for whatever reason, this horse's last race, 5/8 at Del Mar, really caught my eye. I almost wanted to show this race because I thought this horse finished not only strong, but galloped out huge. The distance today should really work for Needle Point, and I just think she's been facing better. And Patty Gallagher with you. So the 2 guys I spoke to this morning, they're going to team up and hopefully either get a win or run second to my other horse. 6-5 for me, and I think the race is pretty wide open. There's a lot of horses like Prime and Ready, How Lovely, that could win this race. Ron Ellis off the layoff. It's probably as competitive a race as we have today, but I just won 6-5, and hopefully I'll be right.
Our seminar guest, Larry Zapp, says beat the chalk in race number 5 using runners that are 5-1 and 8-1 on the morning line. Race number 6 begins the 50-cent late pick for today. 1 mile on the main track is the distance. Maiden claiming $12,500 is the claiming tag. Field of 6. Number 6, Stormy Midnight from the Mike Pipey Barn is 9-5. Here's our guy Diego Herrera in the saddle again. Give us your thoughts on race 6, Larry.
It's a race I didn't really get too excited handicapping. One thing I'm convinced of, let me put a horse right into the winner's circle I'm not picking.
You're going to knock a horse?
I'm going to say the 2 road rules. I was at Los Al that day, and that horse does nothing for me. We all have made expensive bad purchases, and I think that's what this horse is going to end up being. Obviously, Sadler ain't messing around. He goes from 50, and the horse got bet that day. Didn't do any running, but got bet that day, and he drops right down to 12-5. I had to go with the horse with just I keep talking about it, outside post, short field in a sprint race, and this is a mile, so never mind, Tom. But this horse has just been faster than everybody. They have to catch up to this horse, in my opinion. I went with the 6. I hate giving out favorites, especially in races I don't care for, but I just picked the 6 because I didn't know who to pick. And the 3 horse started getting good at the end of last year once it found its friends for Richie Baltas. I just feel that Richie's off to a little slow start at this meet, but he's going to heat up. And this horse just looks physically good moving. I think these are its friends. In a race I just don't have much interest in. I went 6-3 in race 6.
Race number 7 begins the $3 late pick 3 sequence, also with a reduced 15% takeout. In race 7, we're traveling the marathon distance of 1.5 miles on the turf course. It's our stakes race today, the Astra Stakes, $100,000 guaranteed for fillies and mares. Scratch the 6. Hey, Jesse leaves us with a field of 5, no doubt about it. Mrs. Astor, who's been rock solid here running in turf marathons in Southern California, will be tough today at 4-5 on the morning line. However, Larry, you wanted to show a training track drill for number 4, the best is yet to be, from the Phil D'Amato Barn. This training track drill right here at Sandy was on January 12th. A solo workout. Why'd you want to show this work?
Sometimes you have to, it's not about how fast you go, it's about how comfortable you look. I ran second with one of our horses, Resolve, to trying a distance, and then we came back and ran 5th in the American Oaks. This filly had a 2.5-year layoff, Tom, and I talked to Netwig, who runs the show for these guys, and he says there's a lot of little issues stop this horse. And look at this horse right here. This is a very comfortable drill. This horse is on point, just waiting for its next race. 2.5-month layoff. They came back in the 25. They were protected, and then you're not going to see this horse ever in for a tag again. She's earned her way to stakes, and today she gets to run 1.5 miles in the Astra Stakes. And there's no doubt she's got to beat the 2, Mrs. Astor, who's probably going to be 2-5 in here. And I can easily pick Miss Astor over the best is yet to be. But why not go for a little value? I went 4-2, but I really think it comes down to these 2 horses. My clients are running the 5, Sakura Blossom. she's been an honest filly, but she's going to have to step her game up. Blinkers go on. She's my long shot, but I'm going 4-2 here in race 7.
Good luck to all the connections in race number 7, including, as you mentioned, the owners of number 5, Sakura Blossom, Joe Ciaglia and Nathan McCauley. They both are tremendous assets, not only for horse racing, but for their support of Southern California racing. Race number 8 begins the $5 late daily double with a reduced 15% takeout. And we kick off that wager sprinting the abbreviated sprint distance of 5.5 furlongs on the main track. $10,000 is the claiming tag. Craig DeLassy, who's had a couple winners already this week, has the morning line favorite with number 3, Last Call Zonlo at 9-5 on the morning line. Field of 8 here, so we have a little bit of meat on the bone. Talk to us about race 8.
You know, I agree that the 3 is the horse to beat, but I thought there was other speed to maybe keep that one busy, and I'm hoping that's the case, even though she's coming out of some shorter races at Los Al at night, and then last time 5.5, which this is. I went with Maldonado. He doesn't always have to be that Sen guy, but he usually gets a horse in a good position. I like the race, some of the races Win Ribbon, the 2 horses come out of. I think to me, this might be a drop in class. It was a starter last time. Some of those allowance races at Los Al are pretty tough. And this horse loves the distance. 3 wins and 3/3 and 8 starts. I just looking for a little value. So I went with the 2 Win Ribbon. I think it's a wide open race. And the 4 Tiger in my tank. Anybody who's ever met Librado Barocio will learn one thing about him. I don't think he runs a horse in a race he doesn't think he could win. I asked him this morning, what are your chances? He goes, just like yesterday, he was 3-5. So he thinks he can't lose. And that swayed me to at least use him in my selections. I went 2-4, but this race might be a little more wide open than it looks.
Larry, before we take a look at race number 9, we can tell by your props who you're rooting for tonight. You're going to be rooting for the same team that entrepreneur Mark Cuban is also going to be rooting for. We know you're biased, and we also know Miami has a good defense. You guys have a tremendous quarterback, the Heisman Trophy winner, Mr. Mendoza. How do you think the game's going to play out? Is it going to be a blowout? Is it going to be tough? Well, you know, I know you're biased, but give us your analysis.
I'll tell you what. Every aspect of the game, the offensive lines, the defensive lines, the quarterback, the runners, the wide receivers. You know, Indiana don't drop balls. Let me explain.
Just like the LA Rams last night.
Yeah, let me explain one thing about Fernando Mendoza. In 2 playoff games, he has more touchdowns than incomplete passes.
Correct.
I don't think that's ever happened. But this team believes in everything. It believes in the Almighty. It believes
Starts with the coach.
It believes in itself. Signetti is going to become Signatti tonight. And yes, they call the championship a natty. And I don't know when that's happened. And let me just say, I hope Miami makes it. I mean, it's almost been embarrassing to watch Alabama and Oregon get pretty much eliminated by the second quarter.
2 very talented teams.
I'm hoping Miami can at least make it to the 3rd quarter. Indiana by at least 3 touchdowns.
Play the alternate line. Don't settle for 7. Take -21. So says Larry Zapp.
If you can get extra odds on it, I think it's take it. Indiana, they don't make mistakes, and they are led by a great leader. And he comes from that Saban tree, but he's making a mark for himself, Signetti, and it's pretty special to watch. And they are becoming America's team, Tom.
And Mendoza likely to be the number 1 pick and the future quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders. All right, Larry, that's enough of the college football nonsense. Let's talk about race number 9, where we've got a $1 super high 5 carryover. There's $20,000 already in the pool. There is one scratch the 3. Also a runner you're very familiar with, number 6, Mulholland Drive, is a first-time gelding, the morning line favorite, drawn right inside number 5, Ventry Strand, 9-5 on the morning line. Who's gonna be your top key for super high 5 purposes?
You know, Nathan McCauley bred this horse. He's River Oak Farm, and he owned a really nice race filly and now mare with us named Venetian Harbor. He also just recently bought into Sakura Blossom. The guy's sharp.
Very sharp. I've met him. I love him.
He's from a sharp family. I met him through Barry Abrams and those trips up to the farm out from Del Mar to go see the Great Unusual Heats. And, you know, when I saw this horse at the sale, Peter Miller was right there. And instead of bidding against each other, we just decided, let's buy it together. So we did so. And this might be not the best campaign horse in the world, but we've tried everything. But he got the ultimate equipment change last time. He's a gelded son of Mo Forza, who had a 2nd winner yesterday, off to a slow start.
From the Bill McLean barn, 60-1, ridden by Caesar Belmont.
With a pretty good first race, if you really were paying attention.
Too big of odds for that.
And then going from
starter.
on grass by Mo Forza, who is one of the best middle distance turf horses we've seen in California. Peter Miller entered 2. He scratched the other. I'm hoping he just wanted to make the horse, make the race go. He says the horse has been really good, both mentally and moving since he's been gelded. He's down at San Luis Rey. And Jera Milo, I guess he's a pretty darn good.
Paramia. He's
Yeah,
very
did you
good.
say it? Yeah, what you said. I heard he's a really good jockey. I saw him the other day, and he looks to sit really good on a horse, and he's been around. He's not a kid.
You've been riding in South Florida a long time and making a very positive impression
20% basically for the year. We drew really well. Here's that theme again. We drew really well. He's my top pick. Okay, Unusual Heat Weight beat our Mega Heat years ago we never won a stake with Mega Heat. We did win 10 races. Unusual Heat Weight did win that stake. He's now a stallion. I like when a horse tries turf. That his daddy loved the turf. And there's my guy Ayuso again. Got to go with the value here, Tom. 6-4 from me to try to upset the 5 horses Saddlers. Could be a great day to have that outside post.
Larry, thanks so much for joining me. We always appreciate your insight and time and effort you put into it. Good luck not only with your selections today at Santa Anita, but of course your Indiana Hoosiers trying to become national champions for the very first time in their football history.
I appreciate it, Tom. And one more time, you could do it with me.
No, you go.
Hoosiers!
Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great afternoon of racing. Nothing but the best of luck. We'll see you on Friday. We've got an 8-race card starting at 12:30 p.m. Pacific time. But until then, good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem. Good afternoon and welcome to Santa Anita Park, the great race place where the track is fast, the turf is firm, rail on the turf out 20 feet. Those track conditions brought to you by John Deere. Here are the changes. Early pick 5 starts with the first, no scratches or jockey changes. In race 2, early pick 4 wagering is offered, no changes. And in the third, we just have a blinker note. Race 4 is the start of the $2 pick 6 on races 4 through 9. No changes. In the fifth, just a couple of blinker notes. Start of the all-turf pick 3 and late pick 5. Race 6, late pick 4 wagering is offered. Number 4, Danzing Zella, 3 pounds over. The 7th kicks off the late pick 3. It's the Astra Stakes, scratch number 6. Hey, Jesse. Turning to race 8. $5 late double wagering offer. Number 8, Howbeit, 3 pounds over. And in the 9th, there's $20,991 in the Super High 5 carryover. Scratch number 3, Marco's Performance. Yes, there is Super High 5 wagering offered on this 5-horse field. They'll be at the gate for the opener in 27 minutes. Thanks for coming out to celebrate Martin Luther King Day here at Santa Anita Park. $2 beers, hot dogs, and sodas throughout the afternoon. And they're off.